The topic of today's video is that not everybody needs to be your friend. And that doesn't mean you need to be rude or disrespectful to anybody, but you just don't need to consider them a friend. And I'll use something that happened to me today as an example. I'm at work and a old friend of mine from back from middle school, he introduces himself to me after, I would say, 3 years since our last contact, which was my freshman sophomore year of college, where he had asked me for money. And being the good friend that I am, I gave him some money because at the time I believe he was not financially struggling, but between part-time jobs. With that said, I was expecting to get the money back at some point. It didn't have to be right then and there, but more so an acknowledgement of the money coming back to me. And I vividly remember where I had really felt betrayed by him. Not necessarily because he wasn't going to pay me back, but the fact that he was my friend from such a long time ago and that he really would burn this bridge like this over some money. It wasn't even a big quantity either. After those initial 2 to 3 months, I stopped reaching out. That's to say, I started reaching out about the money, and I didn't reach out to him after. I pretty much went no contact with him, and he never reached out back to me. So that kind of confirmed my suspicion that he was never going to pay me back, and he never really planned to. And so I kind of just brushed it off over the years, kind of forgot about it. But when I saw him today, and he kind of acted like nothing happened, it all came back. Primarily the emotion of disappointment, in which he had really done that to me. And as he's talking about his life, how it's been, I couldn't help but just not care. Obviously, I responded like you do in conversation, showed respect, was courteous, and even ended the conversation off with taking his number and promising to reach out so we could hang out sometime. But in reality, I knew I was not going to reach out to him. I even sat there and contemplated, why would I not call him out? And it kind of dawned on me, there's no need for me to be aggressive or hostile to people, especially when they're not actively in my life. There's no point. There's nothing more I can do than keep these people at a hand's length and just work around them. As long as they're not personally intervening into my life, there's no need for me to intervene in theirs. And that doesn't go for just friends, but that's anybody. There's no need to force connections, force bonds, if you don't want to. That's kind of the freedom of life that we have, to choose the life we want, the friends we want to be around, the people we want to be around, and then just how we conduct ourselves around them. I'm sure there's people out there who don't function the same way I do, where they need to be friends with everybody, or they have to show a certain emotion towards somebody for them to understand that they don't like them. But to me, that's just extra work. That summarizes my little rant for today. A little short video on a topic that I thought was relatively common and maybe could help alleviate some of my mental stress right now. Thanks everyone for tuning in on this video. Still trying to get used to this camera thing, but I think it's getting better. I feel more comfortable. I still run out of things to talk about, but it's not as awkward as it was prior. Granted, I am recording this video at 12 a.m. and it's a little weird where I feel like people could hear me in the rooms, so I'm not a fan of that, but I'll have to confirm with them later if they can actually hear me. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. Catch you later. Bye.